It all started with a dream.
This is so stupid!
Been waiting my whole life for this. I got some things to say.
I'm still slowly dying, but hey, we all are.
We have got a special interview earlier this week. I sent 20 questions to an indie Christian band called the Outcry. They have been on the station for over a year now, I believe. Last year, and by last year I mean 2018, they released two singles. One was called Warning Signs and one was called Banners. Both of them have been playing on the station for a very long time. They released their full EP just a few months ago, and so we sent them 20 questions, and they have brought us their answers. So here we go, 20 questions with the Outcry.
The voices echo like a song, depicting melodies of the rights and the wrongs. My heart is tuned to the sound. In the words I hear it now, we look out for the warning signs. We listen for the victory comes. We know your love redefines the emptiness we felt when we ran away.
Today on the Morning Sidehug, we are welcoming the Outcry, an independent Christian band whose EP Love is the Sound is out now everywhere. Guys, welcome to 20 Questions. The first question we have for you today is, who is the Outcry?
The Outcry is an alternative rock band from Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, Virginia, and it features my friend here, Ryan Kite, myself, Alan Bays, Coy McCardo, David Springstead, and Jack Harris.
So how did y'all pick the name The Outcry? What's the meaning behind that?
The Outcry means, it's just basically for us, it's a hope and healing type of songs that we write, and we write them to help bring together a disunification of people, where people feel hated, or they see violence around them, or the noise that they hear on the news and stuff, and we just believe that the Outcry is just bringing together all those voices and uniting them for a common good, a voice of love, a voice of hope, and so that's what it means to us.
Okay, well, speaking of that, can you share with us a little bit about your faith journey?
So I think all of us grew up in church, and we've all been, I like to say in church since we've been in the womb practically, and we've grown up playing in youth bands, and we've grown up, doing various different things in church. But I think the calling became a lot more real and tangible when we came in our young adult years, and just experiencing that transformation and experiencing just a stirring in our hearts to want something more, desire more other than ourselves. And God has really moved in all of us, and most of us are pastors. I'm a pastor. Ryan's a worship pastor. David is as well, and so is Jack. So we just love the local church and just what God does through the local church.
Yeah, I think what's cool about the Outcry is the five of us are all really from different backgrounds, different churches. So what's cool is we get to bring like a unique part of our faith into existence, and it kind of helps us go to really just about anywhere and be able to speak a language or talk to anybody. And so I think it helps us really when we're out there, witnessing to people, but also sharing our music of hope is, hey, we're all united. We all might come from different backgrounds and different looks, but hey, it's all, we all believe in Jesus, and that's what we're striving for. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's our faith journey.
So you say you all came from kind of different backgrounds. How did you get started as a band?
So the Outcry started when me and Alan and our other friend David, who is our drummer, we just happened to be on a road trip together. We were traveling, doing worship stuff. We've been doing worship stuff together for a number of years. And it just so happened we were in the car one day and just said, hey, you know, it would be really cool to get back to kind of our rock band roots. We all kind of grew up in the same rock band scene in our area, and it was like, you know, it had been about 10 years since we had done anything like that, and we were just like, you know what, let's combine the maturity of who we are as believers now in our faith, and, you know, even the worship backgrounds that we have, and then bring this kind of rock vibe band of positive hope together. And so we really just decided just in that car ride to just start this project, and we met for the first time, and we just really started writing songs, and they just kind of just really, the process became so simple and so great for us that it really was effortless, and for us it was just like, hey, this is a no-brainer, we should do this. And you know, it's been awesome just in a year of how far we've come, and just to see like how much God's grown it, how much God's going to continue to grow it. We're just excited for the future. So.
All right, so in starting this band and as you've been growing, what have you found, who are your musical influences?
Man, musical influences is just like so vast in our band because we all grew up just in different ways, and I grew up on like punk rock stuff, so but that evolved in more alternative rock sounds. So I love like bands like U2 and Angels and Airwaves. Ryan loves Switchfoot, I do as well. David loves Jimmy Eat World, Colony House. We really like them. Amberlynn, you know. Man, Jack, he likes like more of the harder stuff. He likes Thrice, he likes Under Oath, and Encore, he loves Filipino metal. We joke about it all the time. He's always listening to like hard rock stuff and Tagalog. We don't even know what's going on, but he just loves it, man. Like that's just what he's into, and he's secretly the most talented one in the band. So we let him, you know, talk and whatever he wants with the Filipino metal, so it's pretty awesome. But yeah, we're pretty diverse with our music tastes.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all have come out with your EP, Love is the Sound. Came out a few months ago. What inspired the name Love is the Sound for your first collective work?
So the meaning of Love is a Sound comes from a song that's on our EP called Banners. Funny story about Banners is one of the first songs originally that we had wrote together, but at the time we demoed it and it got shelved, basically is a term that we use, and basically we just decided, hey, we're gonna move on from this song and we're not gonna use it. And really one day I just decided just to revisit the song. I redid the demo. And it was actually Alan who came up with the concept that said, hey, you know, that Love is the Sound thing, that's really, really catchy. We should really like make that like a tagline of who we are and really present it. So, you know, when we started really working on Banners and it really started developing as a song, it was like, wow, this is really an anthem, because when you look at the song Banners and you look at what it means as far as, you know, uniting people, giving hope to people, giving hope to broken nations, bringing people, unifying people, and it really is a banner of love that you really put over everybody. And so we believe that love is a sound because we believe that love is a loud thing, that when you really, really show genuine love, that it's something that just can't be contained. It's just a big,
Yeah, I think, you know, and then once we kind of like solidified Love is the Sound, it was so cool because like all of our other songs started to take on this kind of theme and shape, and, you know, having these lyrics talking about the hope that comes with love. And then the rest of our EP just kind of like enmeshed with that, and it was just really cool how natural that was, because we really didn't know that was gonna take place, and it's really cool how God worked and all that.
All right. Well, let's take a break from the serious questions and do a few rapid-fire faves. So, in order here, what is your favorite meal, movie, band, TV show, and song? Go.
Oh man, rapid-fire questions. Favorite meal? I'm gonna go with pizza. It's safe.
Poppy seed chicken casserole.
I'm allergic to poppy seed. I can't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Man, favorite movie? I love Christopher Nolan, like my favorite director. So probably Inception would be my favorite movie.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan for me. I'm big into war movies.
Great movie.
You know, I heard this 1917 movie is pretty fantastic.
I saw the day it came out, and
can't wait to see that.
It was really good.
So,
favorite band? Like I think U2 for sure. U2.
Either Switchfoot or Journey.
Journey.
Yeah, man, classic rock.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
Favorite TV show? The Office. Hands down,
The
90
Office,
plus.
yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I've probably watched
It's
it
in
a lot.
it's its own category.
Although I heard it's leaving Netflix next year.
It
so
is.
That could change the game.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Favorite song? To keep it with my favorite band, I'm gonna go. Still haven't found what I'm looking for by U2.
You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
Odd choice. Hey, it's not a bad song. Sticking with songs, can you share a little more of the specific inspiration behind your song Warning Signs?
So the specific things about warning signs, I wrote one day. I was having a meeting. I was meeting a friend down on the ocean front in Virginia Beach where we live, and I was early to the meeting. It was a freezing February day, and it was basically, there was this snowstorm that was coming off the ocean front, and I remember looking at this snowstorm and kind of thinking like it was beauty, but it was also chaotic as I was watching it. And then there was this guy, you know, we have some very interesting people down on the boardwalk where we live.
Very interesting.
And so this guy, he comes down on a bicycle and he's hollering, you know, there's a storm coming, and basically, like he was, panicking and stuff, and I was thinking as I was looking at the storm, you see these low-lying white clouds, and I was thinking, wow, this is a really beautiful thing. And so warning signs to me really is, it's finding beauty in the chaos and knowing that, hey, you're going to go through some storms in life, you're going to go through some challenges, but there is a beautiful thing on the other side, really, especially, as a Christian, when you put your faith and focus in Jesus and you trust in Him to help get you through the storms in life.
Yeah, my favorite moment of that song is in the bridge. As the storms were drawing near, the message became clear that our attention and our focus is on you, as in Jesus. So I think it's just such a great reminder, even though like in the chaos of life, and the storm might be coming in and might be approaching us, just to keep centered on Christ. So yeah.
On your EP, which song is the most meaningful to you and why?
Most meaningful song on our record is probably Don't Let Go. It's a song I wrote about two friends of mine who were at a major crossroads struggling in their marriage. And, I just remember kind of just being a leader in their life and kind of sharing with them that love is a covenant that knows no bounds. And I had them kind of declare this for each other, for about a month in their life. And after every day of just doing that, a month or so, they ended up really finding some freedom and some healing in their marriage. And they're still together, stronger than ever. They live in San Diego, California now, which is far away from us. But, I still know that they're doing really good. And they still are declaring great things over each other. And so I'm thankful for that and thankful for the song Don't Let Go.
That's beautiful. Switching gears on your EP, which song was the most fun for you?
Our most fun song, I think, in the studio was definitely Open My Eyes. Like when we've been writing songs, we hadn't really had that like fast rock song, which is what we all really like. But we just weren't writing that. So I told Ryan, I was like, dude, we gotta write like a rock song. So he went in and he did it. And then we created Open My Eyes, which is super interesting. It's in like the key of D Mixolydian. So it's like really fun musically for us. And then just some super sweet production elements. Shout out to Stuart McLeod, our producer. We have like really fun vocoders. And I got to record like 15 guitar tracks on the song, which was just absolutely amazing and just ridiculous. So I think Open My Eyes, all of us would say on the EP, is definitely the most fun song to play. And the most fun we had in the studio, for sure.
Yeah.
So in writing these, how do you come up with the lyrics?
So for me, as someone who writes lyrics, I look for a lot of inspiration around me, and I actually don't write to music. I write songs like poetry. So basically, I write pretty much an entire song just with a melody maybe in my head, and I'll just put it on my phone. But lately, we're talking about the concept of love is the sound. I just see all this stuff around me. I see all this politicalness on the news, and you hear about this stuff in church, and you hear about all this and that, and I really write from a place that like, hey, I want to write songs that just bring people together. I want to write songs that just doesn't matter about your political background, your religious background, even like, if it's a song of hope that can just enlighten somebody's day or just brighten someone, and bring somebody, put a smile on somebody's face. I think that's really where the
we need hope in our world. Like, it's such a broken place, so we try not to talk about all the bad things in the world. We want to bring hope and life and healing to those situations.
And to point one thing out is that some people will, as Christians, they'll look at you and say, well, why don't your songs just like go out and say like Jesus, on a lot of lyrics, and we do that intentionally, not because we want to downgrade our faith or anything like that. By no means. It's really for us to say it because really we don't just play churches, we don't just play Christian meetings. We go into bars and clubs and we play these same songs. The same song that I would play in a church, I would play in the bar or club while people are partying and doing their thing.
And people feel it. Like, you're like, man, there's something like different about your music.
You can tell because, I use this word at my church, this word anointing. And, if there's an anointing behind it, it doesn't really matter, what it really
where it
is
is, where the
saying.
space is.
I think that God can move through, this stuff. And so it's really been inspiring and neat. So.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So next, if you could tour with any currently active Christian band, which would it be?
So if we had to tour with any active Christian band, I think Ryan and I would definitely agree on Switchfoot. We love Switchfoot. I've been listening to
Foreman.
John Foreman's
my hero
band.
as a songwriter.
That was my first concert ever in probably 2002, 2003. And I've seen him so many times. I know Ryan has too. So I think collectively we would agree on that.
Yeah, I think 10th Avenue North would be a really good one. I think we would vibe with those guys. The Afters would be a really good one. We really vibe with those guys. Even like Need to Breathe. Just kind of them alternative rock bands that kind of can go either way.
Colony House would be sweet.
Colony House, yeah. A lot of those bands tour together already, so jump us on.
Yeah, throw us in.
That'd be awesome. All right.
So who else deserves a special mention for their work on this album, or maybe behind the scenes? Somebody you want to give a specific shout out to?
Man, if anyone had to get a special shout out, just behind the scenes and stuff like that, number one is our drummer David. There's like so much stuff that are behind the scenes with him. He does so much of the production. He does all of our demoing. He does all like the keys elements and just random things. And him and I write mainly all the music together, which is just so much fun. And then number two is Stuart McLeod, who is our producer and a dear friend. He just has an amazing ear. He's like just sick. And if you're in Chesapeake or kind of in Virginia and you want a great producer for your record, Stuart is the man. So shout out to those guys.
And a last shout out to all the fans and people that donated, supported, helped us get finances available to even go to this. So thankful for you guys.
Yeah, amen.
Fantastic. All right, we're rounding these out. Questions 18 and 19 here. Where can we find your EP, and how can we find you on social media?
So if you want to listen to our EP, you can find it on every music platform there is, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever you listen to, it's there. And then on social media, you can hit us up on Instagram, which is the Outcry Music. And then on Facebook, it's the same, facebook.com/the Outcry Music. So we'd love for you guys to follow us on our journey. We have a lot of just awesome shows coming up. We're going back to the studio in a couple weeks to record a song. So stay tuned to all that.
Awesome. And the last question, what's the final thing you want everyone to know about, well, anything? Goofy, serious, anywhere in between? You got the last word. What do you want to say?
So, final things that you can know about us. We all love sports, except for Coy. Coy doesn't really follow sports, but it's not really his thing. But all of us, I'm a huge Boston guy. I have Celtics sweatshirt on. We're actually about to watch the NBA All-Star game. That's why we're here. So Ryan loves the Warriors and the Saints. I'm Boston all the way. Pats, Bruins, Sox, Celtics.
I'm just usually disappointed.
David's from Ohio, so he loves Cleveland.
He's really used to disappointment.
Yeah, he's really used to, especially with Browns fan. And then Jack, he is a Redskins fan, and we pray for him all the time because they're the worst. They're franchise thing. So we all love sports and we love talking trash. So if you're on Instagram and stuff, or on the radio and you want to talk trash with us, we love talking trash about sports. But the last thing is, we'd love for you to come to our shows. We have so many shows coming up all across the state of Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland, and we'd love for you guys to be there. So
yeah, we hope to get to the West Coast. I believe this is a West Coast radio station. So
bring us out.
We would hope to get out there.
Love to.
So thanks, guys. See you later.
Yeah, thank you.
Not quite the West Coast, more like the southern border, but hey, we're all the states are hot here anyway, so it's an easy enough mistake to make. Thank you guys from the Outcry so much for joining us for this interview, for answering our 20 questions. Get the EP, Love is the Sound, right now, everywhere, and jam to it, or just, keep it right here on BackerRadio.com, and you'll hear pretty much every song from that album at some point, as long as your ears are turned on, everybody. We stream all the time, and we love streaming independent Christian artists like the Outcry. Again, thank you guys.
Wave your banners high and loud. Let this melody of hope still resound. This can't be our moment now. When voices change and love is the sound. Wave your banners high and loud. Let this melody of hope still resound. This can't be our moment now. When voices change and love is the sound. 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 Can hear it now. Love is the sound. When your banners loud. Love is the sound. Love is the sound. Hey, I'm Ryan,
And I'm Alan.
and we're part of the Outcry, and you're listening to Back Row Radio.